This is part four, part four of Far Beyond the Field. The women haiku poets of Japan. This poet is Shiba Sanomi, 1664 to 1726. Shiba Sanomi is at once famous and notorious in the history of haiku. She is famous as a member, as mentioned in the introduction. Basho visited her home in 1694 and wrote a haiku comparing her to a pure white chrysanthemum. But she gained notoriety when Basho died 2 weeks later, giving rise to a rumor that the cause of his last ailments was the mushroom she had served him at her house. The rumor had no solid basis, for Basho had been in frail health. Tsunami. Alright, we may come back to her history. Anyway, she writes, it's this poem. Its poem says, it stands out even before blooming, a wild violet. This one it stands out even before blooming, a wild violet. First summer clothes. A woman who does not weave feels a deep guilt. First summer clothes. A woman who does not weave feels deep guilt. We're reading from Shiba Sanomi, a woman haiku poet from Japan. Dirt crumbling from the low hillside, a bamboo bud. Dirt crumbling from the low hillside, a bamboo bud. The insects chirp as night deepens, sinks into the stones. The insects chirp as night deepens, sinks into the stones. In my paper kerchief, a wild violet has long since wilted. In my paper kerchief, a wild violet has long since wilted. On my back, a baby, playing with my hair. It's really hot. On my back, a baby playing with my hair. It's really hot. Dakan, turnips, hardening underground. A traveler feels the cold. Putting a handkerchief atop my hat to dry. It's really hot. She keeps getting hot, apparently. Putting a handkerchief atop my hat to dry. It's really hot. Hitting the tree leaves and breaking them to pieces. the cold. Most, wait a minute, yeah. Hitting the tree leaves and breaking them to pieces. The cold, most of them don't resemble their name, lady flowers. I don't know what I'm doing. There's one poem. Some for admiring blossoms and others for being admired, the ladies' hats. Some for admiring blossoms and others for being admired, the ladies' hats. How cool it feels to place my forehead on the tatami floor. How cool it feels to place my forehead on the tatami floor. When you grow old, even mice avoid you. How cold it is. When you grow old, even mice avoid you. How cold it is. Longing for someone, I sit by the gate and draw eyebrows on a melon. Longing for someone, I sit by the gate and draw eyebrows on a melon. Some blossoms there are that nobody sees. An oak deep in the woods. Some blossoms there are that nobody sees. An oak deep in the woods. The harvest moon near the bridges of a Makoto chestnut husk. The harvest moon near the bridges of a Makoto chestnut husk. Farewell to autumn. Stars sparkle on the water of the 20th night. Farewell to autumn. Stars sparkle on the water of the 20th night. Dogs howling at the sound of leaves. Storm on the way. Dogs howling at the sound of leaves. Storm on the way. Love, chilly night in the ghastly lamplight. Razor sharp eyebrows. Love, chilly night in the ghastly lamplight, razor sharp eyebrows. Bald mountains offering nothing autumn can get grip on. Bald mountains offering nothing autumn can get grip on. This one may have been inspired, one of them was inspired by Basho, where Basho says, few in this world notice those blossoms, a chestnut by the eaves. Few in this world notice those blossoms, a chestnut by the eaves. Which one was that? they didn't notice. One of those poems. Which one? It's a mystery. Well, one of them says, we don't know. They used to eat, you ask what they eat, they play the koto, and they ate chestnuts as refreshments. When they had a scene after a moon viewing party, someone would play the koto, consisting of strings stretched over a board, and they would have chestnuts. One of these, a scene depicts a woman waiting a long time for a lover's visit. Now that one is low, chilly night in the ghastly lamplight, razor-sharp eyebrows. Is she waiting a long time for a lover? Goodness. I don't know. She marries Ichiru, an eye doctor, who wrote haiku and renka as a hobby. When Basho would come visit, they would invite him to their home. Tsunami began to help the family finances as a professional judge in the public haiku contest. Seems that she was aggressively sought to befriend prestigious poets in her new city. She not only invited Basho to her home, but actively made contact with noted poets outside of Basho's school, such as Ihara Sakaku. Ichiru's death, however, seems to have led her to restart life in an entirely new environment. In 1704, she moved to Edo, and while succeeding her husband as an eye doctor, continued her work as a haiku teacher and judge. It was there that she compiled the anthology Kiku no Chiru. It's called Chrysanthemum Rubbish. The name of the book, Chrysanthemum Rubbish, collecting 687 verses by 378 poets. She then became a lay nun when she reached her 60th year in 1723. She commemorated the occasion by completing another haiku anthology entitled Suru no Su. The Crane's Staff has comprised contributions from 99 poets. Quite impressive. Shiba Sonome, Part 4 of Far Beyond the Field. Women poets of Haiku Poets of Japan.